Hello, everybody, and happy live day. It is time for another live recording of our Heat Press for Profit podcast. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen and join in on our conversations. If you are watching with us live on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, make sure you shout out who you are and where you are from and who you are, what your business is, and where you're tuning in from. There we go. We got it right. Today, I am very excited to have a recurring guest on our show, which is Mr. Jay Bassell. He is the VP of Sales and Marketing with the Equipment Zone. And today we are talking about Marketing 101 and just really how to market custom apparel to your people. What was this? Are you good?
Yeah, sorry, I'm great. Someone came in my office and they were like, ah. So
I'm like, no, not now. We're live.
No, now it's good. Now it's great. Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. So here is a perfect time for those of you that are tuning in live to ask Jay questions as we go through this. Some of you find sales as a weak point. Some of you find marketing as a weak point. Some of you are just so overwhelmed with your day-to-day and production that maybe you forget about marketing, and it is actually a key part in your business. So as Jay and I are going through some tips, tricks, things you need to know, please do not be afraid to ask questions. That's what we're here for, and that's what this podcast is designed for. So let's get started. Jay, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and on this beautiful Friday to join me.
Yes, absolutely. Thrilled to be here, Kelly. As you know, I'm a big fan. So it was great to see you last week, or it seems like a month ago already, but it was shortly. We were in Atlanta, passing by each other. Hey, and then poof. So fun. I'm excited.
Every time we saw each other last week, we were just running to a different location.
Yeah, pretty much. That's truth. That's truth. Yeah, running to the next event, running to the next appointment, heading back to the trade show booth. What a wonderful expo it was, though. It was fantastic.
It was, and it was massive. I didn't get to walk the entire floor. And for those of you that are tuning in that have no idea what we are talking about, Printing United is a massive industry trade show that is held at Vegas and Atlanta, and then it rotates every year. And this year it was held in Atlanta. And Jay, do you know how big it is compared to, say, Impressions?
It's about 3 times the size of the largest Impressions show. So it's enormous. It's our largest trade show of the year, and it's where all the fun toys come out to play. So if you have new equipment, something shiny, look, a squirrel. That's where you're going to have this new equipment. So we were thrilled. We had a few new pieces to the puzzle, but yeah, whether it's a small decorator show or whatever kind of trade show or expo you attend, I'm a big fan because we're tactile people. We need to touch it and feel it and experience it. And so I know Stalls does a tremendous job of all of the things that you guys do to help people feel that experience, to connect with the equipment, connect with the possibilities of all things heat press and all things pressing. So I just a big fan. So if you haven't been to a trade show, I would definitely, that's where you're going to get a ton of education and a lot of connections, meet people like Kelly and the rest of the team at Hottronics and Stalls and Transfer Express and so on and so forth. So yeah, my little plug for trade shows right there.
I love it. Everybody should attend a trade show. It's just a whole other world and experience. And it really, I think, elevates your business on different levels. Even if you're not there to buy equipment, it's just the community as a whole that, is such a fun experience.
Yeah, 100%. And if you see me looking over, it's because I have the chat over here. So I'm seeing Gary and Brandy and Lynn and some of these winners, Lisa and Andy. Thrilled that you guys all tuned in, fired up. If there's 4 of us, we're going to have a party. And Kelly and I count for those 4. If there's more, woohoo, even better.
I love it. We're going to do it. We should do it. So, Jay, to give everybody a quick rundown, tell us a little bit about what you do for Equipment Zone and as the VP, everything that encompasses.
Well, thank you. I feel overwhelmed most days. just like you. There's a lot to do. Equipment Zone has 2 core offices. Our main office is in New Jersey, and then we have a smaller satellite office here in Arizona. So we totally, I think all in have about 30, 32 employees. We've been in the business for coming up on 20 years, just over 20. All of us that are kind of in leadership positions have had 30 plus years experience in the decorated apparel industry or the print industry, depending on where someone came from. They might be like a dysfunctional cousin, like print, promo, and apparel. To me, they're all very related. It's kind of like that funny, wonky family reunion where you see that cousin Ed or cousin It, if you want to call him that. But yeah, 30 plus years with all of us here that have experience in leadership positions. And so what I do every day is I'm trying to help increase our reach, increase the visibility, build awareness, all things marketing, all things branding, video. We're pretty, in terms of training videos, we have a large subscriber base on YouTube. I think YouTube is an underused value. We don't need to get into that specifically unless you want to, but I think it's a tremendous tool that most people just don't even, they go there and they consume, but they forget that that could be an amazing tool for every business owner. So yeah, so all things video, email, trade show marketing. We're trying to nurture leads and convert them into super fans, if that makes sense. So on a big business, large scale, that's what I do every day.
And so much more. The
And
personality.
so much more. Oh, well, you know,
You
little
forgot
extra.
that part.
I forgot. I am known to be a taco connoisseur. I have kind of a fetish and a small obsession with tacos. So the good folks at Stalls know me for that as well. So if we're ever out and about, chances are at least one night we're going to be in some cantina looking for tacos, looking for adult beverages, and having a great time. So
I love it. You're always a delight, Jay, and I love having you on here. So let's really dive deep into this because I know marketing as a whole, I mean, there could be several podcasts over layers and layers and layers when it comes to marketing. But at the end of the day, just like any business and anything you're doing, you should really have a plan. And sometimes it's really difficult to sit down and look and go, how do I create a marketing plan? Where do I even start when
yeah.
there's so much in the world, from social media, email, text, video, print? Like there's just so much. So how would you recommend, or what would you suggest that somebody should do to sit down and create some type of plan?
Yeah, a great question. 100% agree with you, Kelly, that first of all, I want to say keep it simple. I want to say keep it simple. Don't make this thing a big complex deal. You do not need to download software. You don't need to hire a consultant yet. Just keep it really simple. One page, maximum of one page. So if you were going to go see a business consultant, somebody that's going to help you grow your business, they would probably say something like, "Let me see your business plan." You may or may not have one, so start there. One page business plan. If you were going to go to an accountant for some financial help or a bank, they would probably say, "Well, let me see your profit and loss statements. Let me see your numbers. Let me see the books," right? So if you were going to go see a marketing expert, if you're going to see somebody that knows their way around the branding block, they would probably say, "Let me see your style guide," or "Let me see your branding guide." And these are all tools that business owners need at every level. So if you're a small micro business, just started, mompreneur, crafty dad, in that spare bedroom, in the basement, in the garage, wherever you are, at the kitchen, but you're heat pressing your way to, big time success, you still need these tools. So business plan, profit and loss statement, basic financial plan, and also a marketing plan. And so there is a difference, by the way, between marketing and branding. And those two words get used all the time interchangeably, and that's okay. I'm not here to school anybody or correct you so much as to help you think through it. So the difference is this, and this is my opinion. So this is the rules according to Jay. So deal with it. So if you're in Michigan right now, Ja Love, I see you. I see that comment. There's some good folks over there. Be patient. But listen, the thing is that marketing is the thing we do every day. It's the kind of the tactical, in the trenches, It's how I want to find someone. I want to find them, build awareness. I want to nurture them. I want to convert them from a lead to a very happy customer. So I'm going to execute different things every day. It might be emails. It might be the way I use my website. It might be direct mail campaigns. It could be a trade show. It could be going to your local chamber of commerce and doing a mixer. All of those little tactics, all of those little things, those are the marketing touch points that you're going to be involved in, day out. The branding is kind of the bigger picture. It's a little bit broader than that. So when I think of marketing, though, I think of the short term. I think of the I've got to find people that want to buy what I sell, and how do I do that? And that's what that marketing plan needs to be. How am I going to take that on? What are the things I want to do? What are the things I want to be known for? How am I going to find these folks? Where am I going to find these folks? What do they like to buy? What do they want to wear? What do they want to give away? Right? So those are some of the things that I think about as the marketing director. Those tasks in the trenches. I've got to develop these tactics. I'm going to perform them day in and day out. And I'm going to create a plan in the short term and then execute that plan. So that's my kind of marketing 101, super simplified. Sorry if that's too basic, but that's what I would start with.
So with a marketing plan, it's really kind of thinking about and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's really thinking about the idea of how are you going to get in front of somebody?
Yeah, exactly that.
It's capturing their eyes. It's getting them to believe in whatever product you're selling, want to know what you're doing. They're invested now in you as a company. Mm-hmm. So whether that is them signing up for emails, following you on social media, yes, liking a post or a video or commenting, all of that can encompass in a marketing plan.
100%. I love the way you phrase it, capturing their eyes, capturing their attention. You're trying to build awareness and credibility and trust. That's really what your marketing is about. Marketing is not about tricks. Hashtag marketing is about trust. So hashtag trust. Nobody wants to be sold to. Nobody wants a pitch. Nobody wants to be, blasted in their inbox. But if you do things differently, if you're special, rare, unique, and you have a personality, and you can create fun, and you can broadcast that and engage people, now you're attracting them, and that's totally different. And that's the root of marketing. That's where the hot sauce and the secret sauce. That's where you play those special ingredients into your marketing plan. Not taco. I almost said taco.
Did you say taco?
Yeah, almost. I almost did. Oh. Secret sauce, hot sauce on the taco. I mean, marketing plan.
It's time for tacos, huh?
It's Friday.
It's close. So with the way, anytime I hear a plan, the word plan, mm-hmm, it almost comes to my mind like there's got to be highly detailed, organized, thought out, massive page breakdown. And I think at the end of the day, when we're thinking about a marketing plan, it's really about the steps and what you need to do to get in front of somebody, not so much at this time I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Yes, you want to be able to have that plan. But if you are one that's like, I just need to get bones, I just need to get something down so I can hold myself accountable. It's really just knowing that you're going to post X amount of times on whatever. You're going to send 4 emails a month.
Correct. I love that. Yep.
So it's really just keeping it simple. And in our industry, it's so fun. And sometimes we can think too much or think too hard or make it too difficult. And something like that, we just need to make sure that we're continuing to have fun, especially in marketing.
Yeah, please.
It's bringing back that trust.
Yes. Put the fun. Look, Kelly and I put the fun in dysfunction. If we can do this, anybody can do this. Okay. Let's be honest. Let's peel back the layers. Let's get real. Okay.
I am an onion. So many layers.
So many layers to Kelly. Well, let's just be real. I love what you said. Keep it simple. Don't overbuild it. And I give you permission to tear it up and start over 10 times this month. But get busy and do the fun things. Find where your little circle of passion is, the thing that you loved the most, and then go share that because other people are going to love that. Right. So whatever it is, if it's Halloween, if it's the time of year, if it's kids, if it's dogs, there's something, and I want to talk about that. It's going to be something I want to share today these passion points that we have. That's the real you. That's when you peel back the layers and you say, okay, there's a special cause that you would support. You, Kelly, you would show up on a Sunday morning early, 6 a.m. for the right cause. You would. Not for every cause, not for everybody, but what is that thing that you would show up for, that you would serve for? And if that's in your heart, then that's maybe a passion point, and that might be something to think about. And how then can I meet you at the crossroads of your heat press and that passion point? Because what you're going to find is there's 100 other people just as hungry as you are for that passion, and that's where you can build. And that's a starting point. That's an on ramp. It's a way more. Seriously, it's the best way to start your business, because you'll overthink it otherwise. You'll overthink it. You'll overplan it. You'll feel guilty. I didn't do all these things. And business is serious, and you have an investment. You want to see a return on that investment. But man, so many times I meet people who are just starting out, and I'm like, I'm almost jealous. It's like, so much more fun back then.
When you're just getting started. This is a great question, but I want to touch on it here in just a little bit. So just know we will come back to this. But now, at the very beginning, you talked about marketing and branding, and both of those things are two different things. So let's talk about branding, because, what do people think of branding? I don't know. Do you know the difference on how people get those mixed up?
Yeah, I think it's just we use them interchangeably, first of all. So it's okay. And then, again, not here to correct you, but I think in terms of the critical differences, the branding of your business is the longer term, long cycle. It's what we're doing this year. It's what we're doing for the next 3 years. It's our reputation. It's in my opinion, kind of that I want to establish myself as uniquely different. So everybody's sending emails, right? Everyone's going to have a newsletter, right? So that's okay. Those are the marketing tactics that you should do. And you can do those on a budget of $0. You can start a newsletter. That would be a really wise thing to do. You could start that basically for free. But what you do to make to have style, to have a vibe, to have feeling, what you do to make it different and rare and memorable, that's the branding. So the tactic is marketing. Everybody has a newsletter. The branding is what makes it special, rare, and unique. And so it's usually a longer term concept. So I, as you can tell, I'm a freckled ginger. Hello, everybody. See the freckles? Ding, ding, ding. So this little gingy body grown up in Southern California is probably going to pay the price in the next 15 years. So I was not a child of sun protection factor. It barely existed when I know I look 30, but I'm a little older than that. And so SPF, right? We all know SPF, the sun protection factor. So in my little twisted world, I think of it as style, promise, and feel. And that's branding. Your style, your promise that you make to your community, and the feel that I get as a consumer. Like, I feel your vibe. I feel like this is different and fun and special and serves something and solves my problem. That's the feel I want. And that's branding. So when you think of that and you put us all together, that's how I remember it. Style, promise, and feel, SPF factor. And we want your SPF factor to be, 150, right? So it's all in. You're fun. You're engaging. You're different. You're memorable. And don't like throw perfectionism to the side. If you're a perfectionist right now, light it on fire. Write the word perfectionist on a piece of paper, crumple it up, light it on fire, and throw it somewhere. You cannot win being a perfectionist. You will have more fun and win more business being memorable, being different. So that to me is the branding speech. Did I make a promise and did I keep it? Do I have a reputation? What do people say about me in the room when I'm not in the room? Not in a negative, weird way, but like, what am I known for, right? Yeah. What's that reputation? That's the brand. That's your branding, if that makes sense.
How do you feel about the importance of fonts, like the visual aspects of their branding? Like, when I think of branding, I think fonts, colors, logos, icons. And maybe that's part of being in the apparel world, where if there's an icon and it is tiny and it's on a sleeve, you can automatically identify what that brand is and who it goes back to, who made it. So when I think of branding, I think of ways to essentially tell a story on a garment that associates people with your brand. And then when
Yeah.
you're looking at marketing, it should all tie together. So if somebody's wearing your product, or if they are going to your social media, if they're checking out emails, you're sending an email, that font, that color, all of that is the same. How important is that when it comes to all platforms and everything
Mhm.
that you can essentially do in terms of marketing today?
No, you're 100% correct. I agree with you. Those are all puzzle pieces to the bigger picture. The font, the logo, the placement, the sizing, the colorway, the theme. I think those are all critical pieces of the branding puzzle. I 100% agree with you, Kelly. And I think that we get schooled on that, whether we mean to or not, whether it's intended or not. Put yourself in the position of the buyer. They care. Think of it as their children. If you were supposed to keep track of their kids, to some businesses, that's how important their brand is. That's why they have a style guide or a branding guide. I call it, the brand Bible, the do's and the don'ts. And so,
Yeah,
yes, to your point about it's immediately recognizable, that's because they've been doing a great job for a long time. And possibly, like Nike, some of these, it's not fair to even think about Nike and Reebok and Under Armour, because quite honestly, we're never going to really be them. And we don't have
sure.
those multi-million-dollar marketing budgets, and we don't have, actors representing us. But we can still be observers of the game. We can still watch what they do and learn from them. They all leave clues behind. And so attention to detail matters, placement matters, color, sizing, the font you use, and how you use it and when you use it. So yes, I agree. Both for you, and don't forget, you're going to be a steward, or you're going to be in charge of other people's brands as your business grows. So you have to prove to them that you can master branding with your own game, and they're going to pick up on it. And once they see your attention to detail, they will trust you with their branding. So I couldn't agree more with what you said.
And it really goes back to selling and marketing that custom apparel. You're a walking billboard, and if you're wearing your brand, make sure that it is truly branded with what you're capable of doing. People see that and they're going to go, oh, I think that's really cool how you did X, or oh my gosh, I need that hat, that's how I want my logo to look. All of those things really matter.
Yep.
And if you're overlooking at them, don't think just because you're wearing your logo that's you're automatically going to get business. You need to make sure that you're wearing exactly how you want to decorate for other people.
And the style in which you want to do it, right? Yeah, the location and the current, it's the holidays, so you can, there's just so many ways there. Yes, pay attention to what Kelly's saying. That is brilliant. And I've watched some of your other videos, and I know what attention to detail person you are. And so,
Yes.
yes, I 100% agree with that, and I would follow your lead. Look behind you. She's got a mood board right behind her, right? Let's be honest. She's constantly, yeah, I see it. Look at all that. That's awesome. The trends, the colors, the style. Be
Yeah.
aware of that and be flexible with your brand. It's up to you, right? You really can't make that many mistakes. Let's be honest. I mean,
Right.
but be willing to experiment. Be willing to be different. Be bold. People remember that. Even if you crash and burn, so what? Pick yourself up. Try it again. Do something different.
Okay. Repeat your SPF for me again.
SPF: style, promise, and
Promise.
feel. Like
Style,
when you make a
promise, and
promise,
feel.
yeah, promise is like not just I will deliver on time. That's kind of a given. That's kind of like, yeah, if you're making something for somebody else and it's an event driven business, often that's kind of that's the given. That's the entry. That we're giving you entrance into our world. So it has to be more than just I deliver on time. By a promise, I mean, like, we're creative and I can show you how. Or by a promise, I mean we solve problems like this. And by problems, I mean for coaches, for churches, for charities. We solve problems like tough decorating, or we can heat press on safety vests that most people can't. Or you can get really specific to the technique, or to the product, or to kind of the whole package. So that's the promise side. And then the feel, just remember, it's like, am I conventional? Am I traditional? Or am I different, quirky, fun? Am I there's lots of ways to just kind of put that into the context of who you are and the vibe, the feeling you put out.
So I want to dive a little bit more on the SPF, but in terms of target market. because there might be some out there that are really trying to hone in on who their target market is. Maybe they put their toe in it and then it
Mhm.
went a different direction, but they really want to stay in a particular audience when it comes to decorating. With the style, promise, and feel, what would you say is a great recommendation for somebody that is really struggling to either get into their target market or identify their target market?
Yeah, it is. It is a challenge sometimes. It's the start, right? Like I don't know who could I sell to, or who could I best serve, or who would buy my products. I There's lots of right answers here, so I'm sure you have some ideas. So you can play cleanup to my mess, Kelly. So I'm gonna go in this direction. I would suggest that you find an existing passion, like what we talked about earlier, but I
Mhm.
mean like near obsession. Okay, look for the ways then to surprise and delight me at the intersection of that passion or that obsession and decorated apparel. So what I mean by that is, for example, let's say Kelly's kids play soccer. Okay, I have no idea if your kids play soccer. Maybe they're in gymnastics,
My
whatever
son
they're
did
doing.
both.
Oh, imagine that. How did I know? They play soccer, right? And you have a heat press. And so you're like, oh, I can make t-shirts. I can make a jersey. I can make tote bags. And those are all true. Those are all great. Meet me at the intersection of where you can heat press and decorate something and that passion, kids in soccer. But I would say go beyond the obvious. Get crazy. Get like throw it out the window. Everyone's thinking t-shirts, everyone's thinking jerseys. So yes, that's the obvious. What could you do? Remember your passion. Remember the near obsession. Okay, if I picture Kelly on the sidelines of her kids' soccer games, I see her practically in a near panic and yelling for joy. Like it's somewhere between panic and screaming at her kids in joy, right?
Yeah,
Go! I could see you
that's it.
totally doing it. Okay. So if I wanted to impress Kelly, who could be my next potential buyer, I would make something for Kelly. I would make her a koozie, can cooler, or a fanny pack that says, "quote Yes, I'm the one yelling, go Kelly." So if I don't know that your children's name, so it would say, what's one? Do you mind sharing one of your kids' name, or also one of my
Jameson
Jameson?
is my soccer player. He's
Great.
4.
Yes, I'm the one yelling, go Jameson. And if I made that for you, like out of surprise and delight, right?
Yep.
You would be like, if I'm another mom or another parent or I'm on the team, that's how I get Kelly's attention. Yes, I could have made her a t-shirt. Yes, I could have made a jersey. And those are all things, but those are the obvious things. So I want to find that fun, memorable, different. Oh my God, this is great. I'll never forget you. I'll never forget the day you gave me this. I love this. You can't buy it at Walmart, right? That's what I'm
No.
talking about. That's how you can open up a door that will open up to the entire team, all the rest of the parents, the coaches, the kids' jerseys, that's my kid, that's my girl, that's my, all of that action to the tune of
Yep.
hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars. And how many teams are there? And how many cities are there? I mean, one killer idea like that can literally open up thousands of doors. That's
It goes to the passion side of it, right?
Yes.
It's really
Yes.
staying in what makes you feel passionate. I think that your path can always pivot and can always change.
Yes.
And I feel like there's numerous people that I've had conversations with that they started in one area, and because of the golden ticket or the key or the koozie, it opened up this entire other door, and their target audience or their target market completely changed. Was
Yeah.
it their plan? No, but it just boomed for them. And of course they ran, which
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
blame them.
No, not at all. And that's why that marketing plan needs to be flexible. But whether it's Kelly's kids at soccer, or whether it's pets, I know you're into pets, or whether it's wine, I have a hunch you like your wine,
You
or whether
do.
it's I know. No, I'm not stalking you, Kelly. We're just kind of,
I know. It's good. It's fine.
it's all the things that are kind of out there that are memorable that we can build on. So it could be, let's be honest, dentistry isn't exciting for most people. So that's probably not high on your list to go target 1,000 dentists. Leave that to somebody else.
Yeah.
But if a dentist was also on that soccer team and got that same, they would then say to you, "Hey, I was thinking of getting some shirts for all of my staff. Is that something you could do? Bing, 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 bing. That's how your
It opens
business
up.
can grow. And that's what can lead you into some other direction. You weren't targeting dentists, but because there was a dentist and plays with your kid on the team, and that doesn't, it could be school, it could be a church, it could be a charity, it could be, like I said, wherever your passion is, tacos, wine, grandkids, a certain breed of pets. Maybe it's your sport or the sport your kid plays. So I would start at that intersection because I've seen it 1,000 times. But be magical about it. Be memorable. Be different. Don't just go in with a t-shirt. Everybody's seen that before.
Don't go in with a t-shirt. I think that's a great little note, and it can be super affordable to do smaller things, right? You don't have to wear it. We talk a lot about sustainability anymore, and it's kind of the same idea. What is something that somebody would use over and over again that they didn't particularly order? And I think that's a good way to kind of keep that in the back of your mind. If you're thinking about samples, or if you're trying to go in with business, just go in with the right product, not just a decorated product.
Agreed 100%. And I will be not doing my job as your highest unpaid consultant for the remainder. And I don't know how much time we have, maybe 15 more minutes, but there was in the 90s, there was a guy named Chet Holmes who wrote a book. And it was about the goal of a Dream 100. So it was popularized again like a decade ago. It's still popular, but the origins of this Dream 100 strategy. And I'm not going to go into the whole Chet Holmes story, but let's just figure out he cracked the code. And basically, the goal of this Dream 100 is that, and maybe it's Dream 50 or Dream 20, but you're going to have a list on that marketing plan of the top 20 or top 50 or top 100 business accounts or types of accounts that you dream about serving, that you know there's piles of cash over there and you want to see a big return on your investment. So you're gonna be focused on that Dream 100 or Dream 50 or Dream 20 list. And the difference is this: you're trying to help those buyers go from "I've never heard of this company" to "Hey, what is this company I keep hearing about?" And then from that, it's like, "I think I've heard of those guys," or "I think I've heard of that guy Jay," or "I think I heard of that business before," to "Yes, I've heard of those guys," And then finally, it's "Yes, I do business with those guys." So you're trying to build all of those little trust points and all of those little credibility points and all of that recognition and awareness from you're a stranger to "I do business with Kelly," or "I do business with Jay." And there's a whole strategy behind it. I don't want to go deep into it, but look it up online. There's lots of great people using this strategy, the Dream 100 strategy. And it's basically a more affordable way to land dream clients, because here's something I'm known for. I want to serve the hungry hundreds. I'm not interested in pleasing the masses. At this point in my life, I finally learned that I'm not for everybody. And I get that. And I'm okay with that. I've accepted it. I would rather work with the hungry hundreds that get me, that have my same vibe. My vibe has attracted my tribe, and I want to serve them. I want to go all in on those hungry hundreds rather than the vanity metrics of thousands of people I've never met, who I will never meet, who don't care about me or my business. So forget that. Forget the thousands on Facebook that you're never going to meet. Try to find those hungry hundreds in your local area, and you'll be much, much more successful, and it's more fun. So
and happier.
Definitely.
You're doing everything that you want to do with the people that want to do it with you, right?
100%.
That's the key to happiness. That's the key to happiness right there.
That, our children, and in your case, maybe some wine, and
always
happiness. Yeah, family, right?
So let's talk websites. Okay. I feel like websites can sometimes be a miss for a lot of businesses. If somebody's coming to your website and you don't have a brick and mortar, I kind of look at multiple things as your storefront, right? Your social media, your Instagram pages, your Facebook, all of those are storefronts. And what information, what pictures, what details you have lets whomever is walking by see inside of the business. And same thing for a website. If somebody's coming to your website, most of the time they are looking for something. Mm-hmm. So what do you feel are key elements that somebody should have on a website, from missed opportunities of not having certain tabs, or really just making sure that they're using the marketing space accordingly?
Oh, there's so much. We could do a whole session on this, but no, we don't have time for it. So
I'll write
I'm
it down
sure.
for 2024.
No, no, no. Yes,
Done
put
deal.
me back on the list. And I'm still learning. I'm still growing in this section. It's evolving. First of all, let's start with that. It's an evolving process. If I were just starting, absolutely, you need a website. You need your own unique identifier. You need a URL that is unique to your business. So whatever the name of your business is, you need to invest in that. That's marketing. You need to have it be simple. Do not list. I'm going to go with the do not. So do not list every potential thing you could ever make on the planet. Nobody cares, and your job is to simplify their world. So don't overwhelm them with 1,000 things just in case, right? You're not building a buffet table of potential. What you should be doing is feeding those hungry hundreds. Like, get to know them. Who do I serve? It's probably going to start on a hyper local level. So if you're in Phoenix, Arizona, where I am, build on that. Build on your local, build on your local community. But I would definitely have an about me section, and it would be my origin story. And by the way, your story is what's happened before. That's what brought you to this point. You don't need to go into these dark, it's not therapy. You don't need to reveal more. You do not, just keep it light and polite, as my mom would say. But it is your story. How did you get to this point? I'm curious. Why are you here? I'm curious. Also, your narrative. The narrative is where you're going. Like, I hope to be able to do these things. This is the promise I want to make. I want to be creative. I want to be known for this. I want to help serve. I want to give back a portion of my revenue to XYZ. Maybe it's a give back scenario. So, but on the homepage right away, we need to get it. We need to get your story. And the best way to do that is to use video. Really small pieces of video can really tell a story better than the text. But if you can't go in on video yet, you just don't. Be judicious with the text. Be judicious with what you're saying, and help people see the picture. So if you're using static photos, that's cool too. I'm a big believer in back to your branding, that your colors and your fonts and all the things that you're going to be known for, that they're all aligned, so that when I am on your Instagram page, I see similar colors and fonts. I can see the vibe is the same, and that way I'm not confused. So on your social platforms, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, whether it's whatever, Facebook, those are all things that, like you said, are windows into your storefront, or on-ramps into your business. They all need to be aligned. Keep them clean, not cluttered. Those are basic things. I'm not sure if you were thinking something more specific than that, Kelly, but it's just an underused tool. Your website is on 24/7. And trust me, people are up weird hours of the night looking for a tote bag, looking at fun things. They get distracted, or they want to be distracted, either way.
Yeah.
And so, you want to catch their attention. You want to be memorable. You want to be seen as somebody that's doing something fun, different.
One thing that I noticed, just even as a consumer, is I'll go to certain websites and I'll go to the about us or the contact us. And sometimes the about us has a nice little description. I can learn a little bit about them, but there's no contact us. Or if there's a contact us, it is a page where you type in your information and then they contact you. What are your thoughts on keeping an email address, a phone number, any direct contact information off of your website, and having just a form somebody fills out?
I think here's how I would answer that question. What do you like as a person? What do you prefer? And so align it with that. So if the forms bug you and you don't really like filling out the whole form, remember that when you're on your website and think, you know what? I don't want a form. I'm going to have my info at, or my sales at. Maybe it's not your direct email, but have a secondary email that's really your business email. Have your real phone number. I think more people want to talk. More adults, well, let's be honest, my children, more adults over the age of 30 still want to pick up the phone and talk to people, right? But have that email, have that phone number on there. Especially when you're in the beginning, you're probably going to be dealing with local folks anyway. So they're probably looking at that area code thinking, this person is actually in Arizona. They're not some weird 1-800 number trying to scam me.
Yeah, they're saying that they're in this area, they're going to ship to you, no problem, but they're across the country. So then you have to take into consideration timeline and all of that.
Right, right,
I really love the take the advice of what you like and what you don't like for your website, because sometimes, there's so many website templates, or somebody built out your website, they're telling you what you should have on there, but at the end of the day, that's not how you would want to go to somebody's website, and that's not what you would want to see.
right.
Then don't put that on yours, and that's a simple, easy adjustment, honestly.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. And trust me, there are a lot of experts out there that are experts. And here's the irony of that. Those website experts probably do know a lot about websites, and I would listen to them, and you should listen to them. But at the end of the day, it's your business, and you have the right to say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I don't really like that. And I'm going to go ask 10
Yep.
of my friends what they like. People I know, people I trust. I'm going to go ask them, hey, when you're ever on a website, do you fill out the whole form or does it annoy you? And 9 out of 10 are going to say, no, I never fill those forms out. It annoys the you know what out of
Yeah.
me. It's like, yeah, okay. So there you go. So
There you
the
go.
gurus are there to consult businesses that are probably in the, multi-millions, and maybe that makes sense. But
Yeah.
for somebody just starting out, it just doesn't make sense. Keep
Yeah.
it real. Wouldn't you want, if somebody called you and you actually were like, hi, this is Kelly from I Make Great Tote Bags.
Beautiful.
I think I would much, much, much rather talk to you than to fill out a form any day.
Yeah, sure. Same here. I would, if I have questions, I want answers.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait.
And here's the other thing. This is don't forget this. By doing that, you're building the trust right then and there. The trust factor goes up immediately. And on a local level, that counts. That's marketing. You're trying to get, it's trust, not tricks. And so think about that. You want to build that trust as fast as you can. So if I can connect with you and call you, I'm also going to let you, if I own the heat press and I'm style guy and I know what's trending and I know what the cool colors are and the cool fonts and the cool products, that's my job, right? But if I let you help just a little bit, you become co-creator of the idea. And then it's like, okay, now I have to buy from Kelly. Because we just came up with this brilliant idea. So they're not going to shop it around because you kind of gave them a little bit of love. You let them in on a little bit of the design process or a little bit of the creative process. And so they become kind of your unofficial co-creator, and they're much more likely to give you, a nice check at the end of that exchange because that was fun for them. They enjoyed the process.
The experience. People want the experience, and that's part of the experience, right?
Totally agree. Totally agree.
So a couple of things. I believe it's Rye. Rye said great advice. And said, I'm soaking up all this free game and applying it. So I'm glad that
Go
I'm
Ed.
getting some tools. And then I really liked this. The Real Right said, that's right. I say it every day. Walking billboard, my shirts, wallet, keychain, business cards, all of the above. So that's just something to, keep in mind. As easy for me. I love it. Equipment zone, notebook. What was the first one? I missed it. Was that a business card?
Yeah, just my business. Everything from your business card to a can koozie to headwear, right? I mean, all of this is just wear it, live it. You're the experience. You're the walking billboard. Agreed with what was said. Real right.
So as we wrap up, I do want to get a couple of ideas for those that are marketing on a budget, like the first question that we had, but also what are little steps that owners can make today to help improve their marketing without feeling overwhelmed?
That's really you saved the best, hardest question for last. Thank you.
I did.
Oh,
of course.
God. Okay. So here's what I would recommend. I would say get out that journal book, right? Get out that blank piece of paper, and I would literally make 4 columns, and I would have 4 columns, and at the 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? 4 lanes, 4 buckets, 4 columns, whatever you want to think of it. I think of them as columns, and I would have a think of it this way. I would have like my personal passions in one column. Personal passions are things that I'm as it relates to business, okay, with one quirk. Okay, one quirky thing that you're known for, but like as it relates to business, like maybe it's graphics. I love graphics. I love vintage graphics, or I love floral, right? Patterns, something personal passion on the business side, graphics, apparel trends, um, maybe communication, mentoring, business building, collaboration, personal passions, my kids' soccer game. Like have a list of 6, 7, 8, 9 things. But stop at 10. 10's fine. Don't overwhelm yourself. But the personal passions where you're kind of all in on something. It can be business, a little bit of business, and a little bit of personal, but personal passion, right? That's the first column. Second column, business differentiators. It's a big word. It's a big marketing word, guys. It's okay. Differentiator. What makes you rare and special and different and unique? My business is known for experiential. My business is known for printing live or live activations or print on demand, right? Business differentiators. I'm innovative. Now, here are 2 words I forbid you to put on the list. Customer service. It doesn't mean anything anymore because everybody used it for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
And if you use the word creative, which I love that word, but same problem. Everybody says they're creative, but they rarely show it. So if you use the word creative, you have to define how. But that could be a differentiator. But another differentiator could be things like your service in terms of the delivery or the speed, in terms of the training. Your service could include training before, during, or after. Another differentiator could be the channel, like we're hyper local, like we own Scottsdale, Arizona. Like I am all in, I'm an expert at all things soccer mom in Arizona, right? Like
Yeah.
think in terms of your lane, your channel, that could be a differentiator. Another one could be, the ease in which you allow people to buy, like an e-commerce store, your website, that could be a differentiator. So I'm trying to give you some ideas of business differentiators. Maybe it's your fundraising background. Maybe it's you've got success guides, color guides, hot product tips. Those are all differentiators. Like I know what's trending right now. Those could be differentiators. So that's what I mean by that business differentiator. That's column 2, bucket 2, lane number 2. Lane number 3 is really important, and it's called solve problems. I solve problems like this and fill in the blanks. What is it so you have to think in these terms. You can't just say I make cool stuff. I almost said something else. You have to say I solve problems, because that's where the logical brain says yes to the emotional pull. If you can't tell me how you solve my problems, even though you make really cool stuff, even though that koozie is adorable, even though that tote bag is to die for, even though the way you did mixed media and you got puff and oh my God, you still have to tell me how you solve problems. Like I solve problems with branded merch for onboarding new employees. I solve problems like I don't make the coaches dig through brown boxes. I separate them out and bag them by size. I solve problems like fulfillment. I can kit things up. I can take a recipe card and I can take a can cooler and I can roll up a t-shirt and band it on a hat and put it in this thing and make it look like it's a well thought out kit or a suite or a bundle of items. Maybe it's retention. I solve problems like retention. I solve problems like you are good at marketing, so you're now helping other people with their marketing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Kelly? Am I okay? So you got to be able
perfect.
to think.
And even all the options you gave for those that maybe struggle and trying to figure out what solution they truly provide.
Yes.
That was such a range that even if you don't respond to one, that there is definitely one in the options or the examples that you gave that will allow somebody to go, okay, I can work with that one. I really do X and provide Y.
Yes, and build on these, and none of mine are exclusive, right? This is like you have to kind of figure this piece out. This is you solving your own marketing puzzle, so that once it's complete, the picture's complete, you can help other people with their marketing puzzle. But if your puzzle's incomplete, they're going to see it and they're going to go, I think I'm going to go to the next guy or the next gal. So, last thing on those problems I solve, and think of it this way. This is a total ripoff, by the way. I stole this. I stole this from Seth Godin, who is a genius. If you want to know more about marketing, just pick up any of his books. Seth Godin, amazing author. But I boiled it all down to I solve problems like this for people like fill in the blank. That's your fourth column, target audience or target community. So if you solve problems, for whom do you solve problems for? Is it healthcare? Is it teachers? Is it education? Is it church, charity, fundraisers? Is it entrepreneurial moms? Is it dentists? Is it hyper-local businesses on Main Street? Is it weddings? Is it bachelorette parties? Like, get really specific and have a list, because you need more than one group. You cannot solve problems for just one group. Broaden that out. Maybe it's for soccer teams, like our previous example. Maybe it's for a local charity that you really care about, or maybe, my kid, I have a then 15-year-old who's now 24, 23, who had open heart surgery. When he was born, he had a little valve problem. Lucky for us, we're blessed. They caught it like within days of birth. Unfortunately, there was nothing they could do to fix it. So for the first 14 years of his life, they just said, just watch it, just monitor. We're just going to watch. We're going to monitor. You know what? The left side of his heart continued to outpace the right side of his heart. It started to enlarge. And by the time he was 15, guess what? We got to fly to Stanford. And there were 2 doctors in the United States that could perform this surgery. And guess what? That surgery wasn't available when he was born. But during the course of his life, and by the time he was 15, they were able to figure out a new technique to fix his valve without giving him an artificial valve. And so my life is forever touched and blessed by those great doctors. And so any heart cause for children, I'm drawn to it. I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'll be there. You need some help? You need a check for $100? What can I do to help? So that could be a target community, raising funds for something that you're truly 100% all in on. So quick rewind, 4 lanes, 4 buckets, personal passions, business differentiators. Who I solve problems, list the problems you solve. I solve problems like this for people like fill in those people, those communities, those target audiences. If you just did that, that would solve all of your content for the next year, because you could pick up any one of those and say, I love collaborating and building experiences at events for heart charities. And you could literally build your marketing plan and fill in now you know what to say and where to say it on what platform. Now you know what to share, every other day on Instagram. Now you know the next video you're at, you're going to be showing how you're heat pressing something. You're going to show the process of how it's made behind the scenes. All of those things become easier when you have those 4 lanes or those 4 buckets or those 4 columns filled out. Are you there? Did I lose you?
No, I've been soaking it all in, just like anybody that's listening. And I think just the amount of the last, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes in breaking out your 4 columns that's going to be our favorite word here. It's game changer. We love the word game changer.
Game changer. It is a game changer
at Stolz. And for those that might be struggling with how to create a plan, where to get started, what to do, what to post, when to post it. Is it right for me to post this if this has nothing to do with my business? Yep, because it's a passion of yours that relates back to your business. So I think all of that was incredible. Michelle Wilson said, love the column idea. What was the second one?
Business differentiators. What makes your business different?
And you cannot say customer service or creative.
If you use cliche words, you're going to be just put in the corner. You're like everyone else. So the truth is, there are thousands of businesses that do just what you do. So you have to have some special secret sauce. That hot sauce of yours needs to be just right for the next person. If it's too spicy, they don't like it. If there's no hot sauce, it's boring. But if you say everything else that everyone says, then you commoditized yourself. You're just like them. So business differentiator means what makes your business different, unique, rare, and special. And if you don't know, then call Kelly, right? So
dig deep.
Dig deep. Think about it. What do you want to be known for? What problems can you solve? Why is your business different? It could be a give back component. That's not that rare anymore. But don't say customer service, because that's kind of the standard. That's what you should do. That's the those are the givens. Those are the table stakes. We have to at least deliver on time. So that's why I say don't put those on the list, because it's just cliche and it doesn't mean much.
I love it. It's good. And it's okay. A little tough love on, having to dig deeper. It's
Yeah.
only going to make you better, right? It's only just going to make you really hone in on who you are as a business owner, what your business is doing, and the point of really decorating the apparel. You can always branch out. You can be many
And you
things.
can change it. You can change it. I give you permission to change it. I give you permission to update it. Visit this monthly or quarterly at least, and think about it. No, I'm not going to be known for that anymore. Nobody cares. Okay, cool. Yes, edit, 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 edit. Build it long and then edit down, and you'll find those little pots of gold that you'll love playing in those neighborhoods, in those sandboxes, and in those areas where few people are, and it's rewarding for you both mentally and emotionally. And then it can also be financially rewarding as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. Jay, how can people follow you or just link up? They want to see your smiling face. You've been incredible. And we've had a lot of people saying, thanks for the tips, thanks for the great ideas in our comment section. So those of you that are still here, just like stand up and give Jay a nice little
you're
clap
welcome.
or
Thank you.
put a little emoji in the in the comments. We've loved having Jay on and really just diving deep and being open about marketing. Sometimes we can be too broad and then it doesn't really give somebody a path, but I feel like you've really narrowed down steps that people can take, ideas to just run with without being too extensive, but then also not being completely shut off and guarded to where it's like, yeah, figure it out, make a plan.
Yeah, right. Go for it. Good luck.
Good
Well,
luck.
you can follow me on Instagram, and I'm most active on Instagram and LinkedIn. I'm a big LinkedIn believer, have been for several years. It's the only social media platform that's specific for business. It is not just a place to list your job or your resume. That was true 15 years ago. It's no longer true. It's a place where businesses connect. So I'm a big fan. Also, you can follow Equipment Zone. Please go to our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of videos, just like Hotronics, just like Stalls, just like Transfer Express. We're big believers in education. We're big believers in trying to give you guys a leg up. If we can help your business grow, you'll remember us. And that's our differentiator, is training and service and sale after the sale, right? Before, during, and after. Give them the love. So follow us at equipmentzone.com. Follow me, Jay Bussell, Busselle, like you sell a bus, Bussell. Otherwise, it's been a thrill. It's been fun. I love sharing these tips. You can tell, obviously, I'm kind of a branding freak and a marketing geek and a printing peep. So whatever you want to call me, if you want to go hang out and have tacos anytime, I'm available.
Jay, thank you so much. For those of you that are tuning in on our podcast, thank you so much for listening. And of course, this podcast is designed to have conversations with apparel decorators just like you and industry experts that can have an impact on your business. If you are not already following on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, go follow both Equipment Zone, Jay, and of course, Stalls and Transfer Express. You can head over to Facebook and join the Heat Press for Profit community. Several of our viewers and listeners are in that community, and it's a great place to really connect with others, business owners. You don't have to be just heat decorating, but I will tell you there is always great conversation and questions going on over in that group. So again, thank you so much, Jay, for taking time. And for those of you that are tuning in and listening, we always appreciate you, and we will see you next week.